is the juice worth the squeeze? And I can't not hear that every time I see this. And it's really a beautiful analogy of looking at your life and what you're doing. Is it worth the squeeze? Is it really paying off what you want it to do? The energy of where you're directing it, is it really coming back to you in the ways that are fulfilling to you and creating the life you want? Hello, lovely Leos, and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, and let's get started with your reading for the week. And this, of course, is your sun, moon, and rising, so make sure to check that out, as well as your Venus, so that you can get a fuller, more personalized reading on all the energies. So speaking of energies, this one will be your overall messages for the week. That one right there. Purification water, emotional cleansing, and rejuvenation. And then let's go ahead and check to see what your higher or future self, what messages are coming in. That one jumped. The green man, intuitive, fertilization, and action. I love that. Beautiful blue and green colors there. Feeling a lot of heart chakra, as well as your third eye. Telepathy, transmission, perception, and communication. Speaking of third eye. And this one is from your guides, your goddesses, gods, angels, anyone, devils, you know, all that good supportive energy that is a culmination of all your support group that's outside of this realm. So I love the energy and the messages coming in from that, because that really is so important to listen to messages that are coming in from the universe. And remember, guides, messages, or your higher self messages are not linear. So sometimes they're breadcrumbs for whatever's perfect in the timing, and it may be in the future or something you've also experienced in the past. So you are stronger that you know. Interesting. Aries, I believe, pulled that card, because that clearly gets to be the message for this week starting retrograde. So keep that in mind. Let's define this with tarot. There's a lot of energies coming in that may be a bit of a roller coaster, and my communication is already sucking right now with being able to talk. So definitely there. Right there. So the Empress, beautiful, right off. Lots of earth energy here is what I'm hearing, Leos. So, Three of Swords. Some of you might have had or going through something turbulent. And we've got the Ace of Swords. Something new is coming in. So I love that. And perhaps it's just, you know, this is an old way of being. With the Three of Swords, and then something coming in the future. So we'll go back to that, but don't get too discouraged quite yet. Woo! Definitely those. So we've got the Page of Pentacles for your higher self or future self's messages. Six of Wands, and that's in reverse. So perhaps some delays in a few things. Seven of Pentacles. Oh, those two. So Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you got a lot of aces here. So I am feeling like already you've got new beginnings, new offerings, new ideas coming through. Page of Swords, definitely. So your guides are definitely cheering you on at this time for support. Eight of Pentacles for perhaps some hidden messages. Keep doing the works. The Star, beautiful. And the Six of Swords. I love this. A few sticky things, like, you know, because this is just what it's going to happen with Mercury going retrograde, is it's going to bring up some things that we get to look at and see. And I do feel with you Leos, you know, the majority of the Leos that I have experienced and the energies that have come through is that the last couple of years have been kind of rough on Leos with their love relationships. And so I do feel like this is really telling me just by a glance that new things are coming in, new opportunities. And that purification water card of emotional cleansing and rejuvenation. Perhaps this Mercury retrograde is really your time to reset some things, to have a really close look at in your life what has worked and what isn't working. And I'm really feeling this with the green man here, that this is a call to really ground yourself at this time. And that could be getting out in nature. It could be really like grounding, getting your bare feet into the ground, really moving to a direction of really centering yourself before action. And with the Empress, because she's all about really that maternal connecting into the earth, to Venus, look at your Venus sign, see where that's at, and see that reading as well. I'm really feeling that to connect into love, we must be love first, and be that nurturing, that purification of being water, but also maternal. It's earth, it's creation, it's being reborn. And so this has definitely been an energy for you, and this is, I'm feeling this signal to really look at your love relationships and really look at yourself and what isn't working in your life at this time. And it could be with the Ace of Swords, it could be just communicating in a different way, presenting yourself in a different way, presenting truly what you want, your authenticity, and being very clear and cutting out what no longer serves you. And it could be if you've tolerated certain types of dynamics in a relationship, or perhaps you're cutting that out. Perhaps you're saying, you know what, I want something different. This doesn't work for me anymore. And communicating that in a very clear and concise way. I'm feeling that you get to really tap into that intuition, that natural knowing. You know what you must cut out of your life and what that situation means for you. As a tarot reader, I'm an intuitive reader, so I read the cards, yes, as they are, but also the messages that come in as I see them and seeing the full picture. And that's something that, I always say, I don't have your answers for you, but what I do have for you is to shine light on things. And usually, if we're really being open to our lives, and I love this statement that says, are you open enough to see where you're still closed? And so it's about really refining and taking a look in the mirror and seeing what we are perhaps ignoring or not wanting to see or to look at. And then sometimes someone like myself says something and you're like, oh, I know what I must do. Those are those moments. That's all this is a convening of the energies to show you messages. And it's not right or wrong if you take it, you hear it, you do it. What it is that it is messages to you from your highest sources of support, and it's up to you whatever you choose to do. There is no right or wrong here. And so when we stay open, we really tap into the Page of Pentacles energy of really making space for new things to happen. And there's sometimes people, they get so stuck in their ruts of doing the same thing and doing what's safe all the time that there really isn't any surprises in their life anymore. There isn't, because they have created such a padded box of knowing, of absolute knowing that nothing new is going to happen. And we really, it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us to not create spaces for new opportunities or trying new things, because that's how we grow, right? And usually getting uncomfortable is where that growth happens. And so with the Six of Wands here, I'm feeling with all of this, it's just a little delayed on what you are feeling is yours or what you want to do. And especially with Mercury retrograde right now is the time of it's that initial feeling of winter, of stepping back a little bit and perhaps pausing, of really not seeing yet what you are creating. And that's where this Seven of Pentacles comes in. This is looking back at all you've created. One of my favorite readers, he uses this card as, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I can't not hear that every time I see this. And it's really a beautiful analogy of looking at your life and what you're doing. Is it worth the squeeze? Is it really paying off what you want it to do? The energy of where you're directing it, is it really coming back to you in the ways that are fulfilling to you and creating the life you want? So now is the time with Mercury in having that illusion of going backwards. Are we looking back at everything that we're working on, and is it worth it? Is it really, is the job, is the love relationship, is the friendships, are everything in alignment to reciprocity, to really feeling like that's where your heart's desire is, your passion? Are you living your purpose? So take a look at that. I love that. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And so going back into that and just grounding into that natural knowing is going into your guides with this telepathy to really perhaps go into meditation, especially at this time of Mercury going retrograde, and instead of a whole lot of action, maybe meditate on what we're missing or the silence of something, and see what comes up for you. And then with these messages, I mean, you've got Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and Page of Swords. So they're really telling you to really go in and find that spark, that new beginning of perhaps of things that were not working in your life, to now going into knowing what is yours. If you want and desire a healthy, stable, solid relationship, then go into your heart and what you must do to create that. And it's up to you. It is you taking action. You'll know when that is. If something all of a sudden comes to you and a friend says, oh, there's a birthday party, or there's this thing, we're going bowling, and it seems quirky and it's not something you do, maybe that is the time to do something new. So you never know who you'll meet. You'll never know what's going to happen if we don't do things that are outside of our normal box. So then it goes into the Ace of Pentacles, which is the same thing. Then when you create and do something new is when you get real substantial, different, and fun offerings. And so I'm really hearing that. Page of Swords is the same thing. There's a body energy here with the Page of Swords is sometimes reserved. His swing is in the back with his sword, so he's not quite swinging it as far as, and that's what swords are all about, is our communication and the way we deliver something. So I'm feeling that this is definitely a cautionary warning that during Mercury retrograde, we can be very sharp, we can be very highly volatile. So it's saying I'm hearing slow on the swing, slow on the swing. So that's what messages are coming through from your guides there. As far as you're stronger than you know, I'm really feeling this card is coming up for when that dip hits from Mercury going retrograde, is when those lulls happen, and perhaps things are coming up for us that deserve healing or are hard, or those moments is where to really tap into. Keep going, keep doing the work, you're doing great. Really focus in on something else, or go further into your work, or whatever it is that you're working on. If this has something to do with working on your relationship, or a job, or a project that you've been on, perhaps focus on that until all of this energy subsides a bit. And keep your focus high. Like, this is the dreaming card, The star is really saying wishes granted. This is what you're working on. These two cards, like what you're working on will happen. Just keep doing it. Keep focused, and stay centered on that. She has a bird here, right here, I don't know what kind of a bird it is. I need to look that up, but I'm really hearing that to stay focused like that. Birds have such great eyesight, and so the little message is to keep clear on what you're going towards, no matter when things get murky and perhaps clouded, that it's really time to stay focused, keep dreaming. These lulls in life these too shall pass, right? And then by doing that, we got to get on the boat when to calmer waters. We're on our way there. We just got to go through some stuff with retrograde to heal, to see what's in the shadows that is still lurking there, that perhaps we have not addressed, or we haven't corrected our course. And so I'm really feeling that just this is really beautiful. Just you're strong. You've got this through Mercury. Get clear on really what you want to do, not into the I feel like the drama of, oh, it's Mercury retrograde. You're not a victim of it. This is for you. This is really for you to get really clear on what you want. When stuff comes up, to know. Brooks is I think snoring. He's confirming what I'm saying. To really get clear on what you want and go for it. And so when things get rough, center back and go, okay, this too shall pass. So I hope you loved your reading, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me. Of course, subscribe so that you can get notified when I have more content out for you. And check out that sun, moon, and rising. So I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.